If you love the national parks as much as we do, then we have a book recommendation for you.
Moon USA National Parks Hiking is a brand new guidebook from Moon Travel Guides that covers the top 100 hikes across 40 U.S. national parks.
Whether you want to descend into the Grand Canyon, stroll the shoreline in Acadia, or cling to the cliff edges in Shenandoah, Moon USA National Parks Hiking gives you the inspiration to find the perfect hike for you and the practical planning tips to make it happen. You'll find everything from easy, family-friendly hikes to strenuous, multi-day treks, plus tips for wildlife watching, backpacking, finding solitude, and more.
This book is an essential resource for national parks fans, as well as a fantastic holiday gift for any outdoorsy people on your list.
You can find Moon USA National Parks Hiking wherever books are sold, or click the link in our show notes. And if you don't already have a copy on your shelf, be sure to also check out the original award-winning best-selling guide that started it all, Moon USA National Parks.
Find your trail and prepare for an unforgettable journey in America's top national parks with Moon Travel Guides. Moon, let your heart be your compass, let Moon be your guide. How are you when it comes to hiking solo, and also when we have experiences where we're on a pretty epic trail and we don't see anyone? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, what's that feeling like for you?
Well, that's a really, really common feeling for me because of the speed at which you hike.
Because I'm alone and you're so far away.
That's it.
Mm-hmm,
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, typically when it comes to hiking together, you care not for me and you care only for you. And you just hike so far ahead that I could be bleeding out and you'd never know.
All the time.
I think it's really fun when it's, just like the two of us or the group, and there's not really many other people. Not that I have any issue with other people.
She lied.
We have plenty, right? But no, it is fun.
But no, it is fun. And it's fine when there are others near. I love people.
Oh,
this
God.
is Robot Dusty.
It's fine. They're so great. Aren't they wonderful? I think having the trail to yourself is great. But of course, it's great because of a lot of things that are established between the two of us, right? Because we deeply trust one another. We've got, all of the safety things that we need. We've got protocols in place for the two of us. There's so much we don't have to communicate about because it's already established.
Because it's telepathic.
Mm-hmm. Right? When it comes to hiking totally solo, it's funny. I don't do that often.
Right.
And you don't do that often. Even when you go hiking without
you.
me,
Yeah.
It's typically with somebody else.
Yeah.
For Mike's other podcast
Mm-hmm.
that he does called Other Gays at the
Sads at the national parks.
there it is. So it's just about being in national parks and
crying
being sad
and weeping.
Crying. I know.
Yeah, it was
Okay, wait. You have to tell the story again because you've told
I
the story
weep all
before.
the time.
But let's talk about your experience having the SADs in a national park is what led to us even going to national parks.
Right. It's all because of my sadness that we're here today.
It's true. It's motivating.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It is. I went to Olympic by myself, having been to Yosemite maybe 3 years prior to that. I was really interested in hiking in national parks after having done Yosemite, and I don't know why Olympic was in my mind, but I think there was a real draw to explore the Pacific Northwest because I'd never been out to that point in the country, and I knew that Olympic was pretty big, and there was just something that I think drew me there. I can't remember exactly why I said, yeah, it's Olympic and not Yellowstone or, something else that's more like a Zion. But yeah, the first day that I was in Olympic, and I'd already been on the trip for a while because I had been in Seattle and I had been in Vancouver prior to that, I drove up to Hurricane Ridge and had a beautiful experience. Watched an elk walk past me, like on the trail, and then drove down to the Safeway parking lot and just like was a wreck of a human being. I think I called you and I called our friend Lauren, and I just was sobbing. And I was like, I don't want to do this alone anymore, because I'd been traveling alone. I'd been doing a lot of solo travel, and this was before the point in our friendship where we'd only been friends at that point for like 3 years before we had traveled together at all.
That's true.
I'd gone to South America by myself. I'd done, hiking trips there and met people and, was with other people I was hiking. But I think I was just like feeling the solitary loneliness of what it is to experience these beautiful things without being able to share that experience with somebody else. Like, there is a beauty in the solitude, especially when you're in nature, but there is something really touching about having that experience and being able to share it with somebody that you care for on whatever, friend, lover, or anywhere in between. Wink.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I literally did that you were just talking about, save for the SADS and the Safeway parking lot. I did that this week.
Well, because you're a more fully actualized human being than I was at 30.
Well, I don't know that that's true, but
I think it's true.
I'm saying, I'm more actualized now than I was at 30. I would say that.
Yeah.
But I had the opportunity to go to Olympic solo this week because I was on a work trip and then had a couple of days off and was able to go to Olympic and hike. I hiked the Sunrise Ridge to Klahani Ridge, that connecting trail that we didn't get to hike when we did the Klahani Ridge loop.
Right.
And did you do that hike?
I went to the right up there. I didn't go left towards Sunrise.
Okay, you went to the right.
Yeah, I think I went on what the extension would be if you were headed to the right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not towards Klahani Ridge, I should say. Yeah.
And then I also did Ozette Triangle again.
Yeah.
Because I do love that trail. Well, everybody, Mike was trying to get his water bottle. The keys were attached. Water bottle spilled over. Water.
Everywhere.
I didn't go everywhere. It just went into a small place. Anyway, yes, I did recently hike. I did send you a little message afterwards.
You did.
And what did that message say?
It's not the same without you. I
That
wish you
is
were
true.
here.
That is true.
Also, you're terrible and I hate you.
I never said that.
Cry.
I don't ever have to say that because I know you're already doing that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it is true. It is better with you, and it's not the same without you.
Looking for adventure, I want to follow on the trail, or get a little lost and let the wind fill my sails. Get up when the stars still fill the sky, don't wake the sun, there's so much to be done, and the day has just begun. Go where the postcards are real, you can feel, you can open your eyes and open your heart when you gaze at the national park.
Follow you there.
At the national park. At the national park. Follow you, I'll follow you there.
We would like to acknowledge that while visiting and hiking the land, also known as Death Valley National Park, that we are on the traditional and stolen land of the Kauai Sioux and the Western Shoshone people.
We've now been in Death Valley for 2 days. This is our third day in Death Valley, final day, and it is going to be our biggest hiking day.
It is.
It is. So much so that this trail is actually going to be split into
2 parts.
2 parts.
Yep.
Which, we do that sometimes because there's so much to cover. And this is one trail across 2 episodes.
Yep.
It is the very early morning of our final full day in Death Valley. We're having our breakfast. We head out from our campground. We were staying at Furnace Creek Campground, and we head out around 6:30 a.m.
It should be noted that we saved this for the last day because this is a hike that is at a high elevation, and it was going to be particularly hot, like the hottest day, I think, in Death Valley on this day. So we knew that being up so high, we'd actually have like a pretty decent break as far as temperature goes. We did leave early, despite even that. This was the morning that we also did Natural Bridge, which we talk about in our Small Trails episode. We did this to avoid the heat and the crowds. And from here, we started our journey up towards Dante's View. So to drive to the trailhead, you have to go left past the inn and past Zabriskie Point. So from Natural Bridge, we about faced on Badwater Road to the major intersection, hooked a right, past the inn and past Zabriskie Point. We then take a right off of this road past Zabriskie Point, and this is going to wind us up to Dante's View. And this is a road that feels very much so like a roller coaster in that it is a very, very hilly road with sections that change and bank, and there's some flatness, and then there's some elevation. Eventually, we're going all the way up, but it did feel very, very roller coastery.
It did. And I was driving at this point because I think you drove back later at the end of the day. We do see a sign that says to beware of bees as we're driving up. And Becky shares with us that this may be because of a nest that they can't get rid of in the parking lot. But we do see a sign for 10% grade, which Cynthia says is a similar experience to that on Artist Palette as far as the grade goes.
As we're driving up and kind of getting into the more elevated parts of the roadway where we're really just starting to head up, we do wind our way past a defunct pit toilet bathroom that looks like it had been crushed in an earthquake. There was a parking lot here, and this bathroom was completely derelict or defunct.
Was a sight to see.
Yeah, it's not much longer after that we do make it to the top.
We are now the only two cars in the parking lot. The couple of the other car, they were out by the observation platform, and they had just done a short trail.
Right. The trail for Dante's View from the parking lot, if you're looking over Badwater Basin, you would head to the right, but there is a shorter trail that you can go. That's like the observation platform, and then you can kind of hike out on a ridge line that's much shorter, still arduous, but it's to the left.
So it is clear that this is going to be a great hike, and we're going to see lots of incredible views, specifically of the salt flats. It's really going to give us like an aerial view of the park that we really haven't been able to see yet.
I mean, automatically from the parking lot, we're getting that view.
Because we're really high up.
Right. This is also hilarious because this is exactly what we were hoping the moon would come over that evening when we were on Badwater Basin. This parking area, this ridge, this hill, this mountain is the thing that was sort of blocking the moonlight from coming fully up.
We do make some decisions about layers because it is cold and
well,
a little
it's
bit
early
windy.
too.
It's early,
yeah.
But we knew that it would get warmer later. So we definitely added some layers. And part of the reason that we did this hike was because it was so hot. And so going up in elevation based on where we were would be almost 20 degrees cooler.
Because for every, I think, 100 feet of elevation you gain, I said this in another episode, and I said 1,000 feet, but I think it's every 100 feet, you start to lose temperature, which is, for us, was such a godsend because of how hot our trip in Death Valley was. We were there in April, and we expected temperatures that would have been like in the 70s or 80s, but it was like 100 every day, like if not more. We get ourselves geared up, we stretch here, and we trek out along the road. So the initial part of this hike is along the roadway that we had come up on. Eventually, we split from that and get onto the trail. It's an initial ascent onto a craggy, rocky area of trail. This, once we kind of get up, feels like a turret. It feels like this castle that has been left, and you're just overlooking everything. There's a little bit of traversing that needs to happen here. It's not terrible trail, but it is definitely not a clean trail by any means. There's impediments along the way. It's not like flat and even by any means.
Becky points down at what looks to be a roadway out onto the salt flats, and she tells us that that is where we were when we went onto the Badwater Basin during the full moon. So we got to see that spot from up here.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to be able to have that perspective. After winding around this initial turret, we make it onto more of a flat plane that is grassier. However, this is very short-lived because it changes again very quickly, which is the name of the game for this trail. The terrain changes very quickly.
This is like a 7
and
realms
sharply.
trail.
This is 7 realms for sure.
Yeah.
The sun is super bright. It's gorgeous. We're getting some really great views up here out onto the basin and also to the fields, on the fields to the right. This is a section where we make 2 downhill dives almost back to back in pretty quick succession. Because if there's anything else that's true about this trail is that it's up, 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 and then down, 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 and then up, 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 and then down, down, down. The
and we know what that
entire
means
time.
for the way back.
And what does that mean for the way back?
It's going to be down, 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 up, 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 up,
and
up,
maybe
up.
even worse.
Yeah.
That's right. And I would venture to say it would be worse because
We'd be
you
tired.
have just done the whole thing out and so you're exhausted. Now you have to do it back. Worse. So it will be a pain to come back on later. Now, during this section, Becky called this marbles because that's when you're like on little rocks that like to like move around underneath you.
And can be very easy to slip on or like have
Yes.
your foot
And I
kind
definitely
of come
did.
from underneath you.
We all kind of did that a little bit here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not exactly scree. It is like little pebbly stones. After the first downhill, we have a very brief section that's flat, and then we head down our second downhill. And we see these breaks in the rocks that are essentially natural arches that you can see through onto the valley. So looking to the left, there are these like rocks that are along the ridge edge, and they have these windows in them that kind of create these very small natural archways, which is really neat to be able to like peer down through the valley. They're like these little peepholes. After a little more hiking, we get down to a larger flat section here and we get a chance to breathe a little bit because it was a lot of decline, like that initial incline up and then decline down. So it was nice to have a moment of flatness here.
And just clock that for a second. Take a moment and clock that like we ascended up this turret, which wasn't really hard. And then it was like decline followed by more decline very quickly. Just for later. Becky points out to us another section that's a little darker called Devil's Golf Course, where we had been on Badwater Basin only the day before.
Yeah.
And so we were able to see it from up here. We can also see the park road and also a dirt road heading up the mountains. It's an incredible view. I was definitely moving slowly because it's what I needed to do that day.
Yeah.
And every day. So we take a minute here to sort of like regroup, take a break in the middle of this trail that we've just begun.
And with that, let's take our first break.
Hey y'all, it's Dusty and Mike with exciting news.
That's right. It's our episode finder. It's all about making finding our episodes even easier.
Want to find more episodes about hikes in Shenandoah? With over 10 episodes across 2 separate seasons, it would have involved a lot of scrolling and searching.
Now, with our episode finder, you can find all those episodes with a few easy clicks. That way, finding an episode on Yosemite from season 1 is just as easy as finding an episode on Zion, Yellowstone, and Haleakala, all in separate seasons.
With over 275 episodes in 35 different national parks, our episode finder will add ease when finding out more about hikes in these spaces.
But it's not just about hikes by national park. We've categorized our entire library so you can find hikes by state, hikes by terrain, and hikes by difficulty.
And all of our Trail Mix episodes are there too, so you can easily find our science-based episodes, interviews, and more.
Planning a trip to Colorado and want to hear more about our adventures there? Want to grunt it out on some really tricky trails or learn more about glaciers, grasslands, and mountains?
Just click the link in our show notes or on our Instagram bio, and it pops right up. You can also head directly to our website and look for the episode finder at the top of the navigation bar.
Conquer one hike in one national park, one park at a time, with just a few clicks with our episode finder. Happy trails!
All right, we're playing One Has to Stay.
We sure are.
Okay, Mike. Okay, we're going to give each other 3 things, and one of them has to stay.
It's true.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I've got mine.
Me too.
Here we go. Here's your group of 3.
Great.
Ankle socks that constantly slip down. iced tea that is a day old. So like when you order an iced tea, but they give you one and it's a day old.
Yeah, I get it.
And copy machines that continue to break.
Ankle socks.
That one can stay.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest can go.
Copy machines breaking are the worst.
They're the worst. Yeah.
That is my personal hell.
And I would agree, even though I don't even use one every day.
Oh.
Having an undependable copy machine, you can't do your job.
No, you
No.
cannot.
I remember one time there was a test that we were supposed to take in elementary school, and it got pushed a week because there was no copy machine. I was
They
not
had a
complaining
mimeograph
about
it.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Welcome
but those
to the
are
stage,
horrible.
mimeograph.
Yeah. Mimi.
Mimi.
Little Mimi. O'Graph.
She's an Irish queen.
Mimi
Mimeograph.
This isn't even drag corner yet, but sometimes they just
They appear.
show up on their own.
Great.
Okay, what
so
about yours?
mine are halitosis, acne, dandruff.
One has to stay.
Yeah.
Dandruff.
Yeah, me too. And guess what? I win because I don't have to deal with it.
That is true. Dandruff we can work with, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we can work with the other two as well, right?
can,
I mean,
sure.
some people are plagued with halitosis, unfortunately, but there are many great things that we can do to deal with that. And same with acne, which doesn't have to. Suddenly, I'm an ad for things.
No, I told you to
can't.
buy more proactive.
Right. I can't. I can't.
I'm just a salesman through and through.
I know.
Mhm.
I know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. And that is one has to stay. Okay, so after we take a break here at this like little break spot, we continue on the trail. I do have to say, for the most part, at this point, this trail is pretty clear as far as like where you're headed next, what's going on. From here, we can see that the trail leads all the way into these like reddish peaks in the distance that we will eventually need to climb. At least it seems like that is the whole trail. What we're looking at seems it'll go into the red peaks and then we'll be at the end. And from where we are, it doesn't look that far. It was like, okay, well, I mean, it's like a bit of a distance, but it's not so far from where we are right now.
Sure. Before we leave the section, we happen to look down and notice a USGS marker that's on the ground, which Becky was really surprised to see. But I think it's always nice to kind of see those things. And just like, obviously, it means that there's some sort of cataloging happening in that area, whether, you know, it's seismic activity or they're just doing surveying. I always like seeing those little markers. They're always like a nice little surprise. A lot of the times they're at like summit points. You can find them. We from here set out now into a slightly flatter section of the trail at the base of these double declines. And there's some slight decline here, but overall it's not really that bad of a trek. We begin to wind some bends and I'm up front with Becky. And Cynthia's behind and Dusty is bringing up the rear of our hiking party here. Becky and I talk about the trail and she tells me that I'm the trail finder on this trail and that I need to sort of like be aware of what's happening, especially as we get into those reddish peaked sections. Because she's like, that is one of the things she did tell us about this trail is that it's very clear for the most part. But then one of the things that is tricky is when you get to those red peak sections, you're very exposed and the trail becomes less clear. So she's like, you're most likely going to be in front. You have to be the one to navigate through that. So,
And also part of your task was to find a good spot for lunch.
this is true. Yep.
Becky had shared this with me as well, that when we get to the peaks, there's going to be a lot more exposure. There's already not a lot of coverage, but like you're like in the very exposed sun when you get into the reddish rock
And
area.
just like as far as exposure, it's also like you're on the edge or lip of something. There's nothing to your sides to
Right.
protect you. We
do spot some planes in the sky doing some, leaving some chemtrails, it seems.
It looked like they were doing some exercises because there's a military bases nearby.
Yeah, we joked that they were writing Surrender Dorothy in the sky.
Yeah.
We follow a long ridge down to the right and just get these like beautiful, glorious, sunny views of the hills and the fields to our right and left. I mean, it really is so gorgeous and picturesque.
And it's
now.
also very early morning light still. We're still in like kind of magic hour light because it's April, it's early, the Sun's at a low angle here.
And it's rolling hills. Becky points to where Ash Meadow is, so we can see that. It's off to the right. Another great perspective. We keep making comments about alluvial fans, which are...
It's like the runoff, essentially. It shows like from the mountains when you're looking across from where we are, and we can see the range across Badwater Basin. And we saw this when we were driving Badwater Road, and even when we were on the flats in the night, you could even make them out. There are these fan shapes that come down as runoff from snow melts and water that's running down. And they create like this fan shape essentially on the ridges of the hills.
Yeah.
But alluvial is a fun word to say.
Alluvial fans is a very fun word. If we had drag merchandise, we would sell alluvial fans. Now we get to like the next leg of the trail, which we would call like down again and around some bends. We begin to bottom out a little here and find ourselves around a small brush section with grass and shrubs. We begin to wind around like this serpentine part of the trail, and it gets like super rocky. We see some wildflowers. There's also right here, thank you, Cynthia, who found this on her app. But there's also apricot mallows and also some hoary lichen.
And hoary means gray, everybody.
Yes.
For those of you that didn't listen to the Marmot episode that we produced.
However, you've spelled it in the outline, not the way that one spells it when it's gray. You've spelled it another way. You spelled it the other way.
Take that for what it is. The trail itself doesn't have a ton of flower growth on it at this time. I think that was something we were hoping to see more of, but we are at this section of the trail in a little bit more of grass section. Every now and again, we're spotting some small wildflowers here and there. These apricot mallows are easy to spot because they're orange. We begin to make our way up through some rockier fields with boulders that are on them to the left and the right. This is where we kind of make our upward push, and we get to what starts to become this redder section of trail.
This is the next leg.
I see a saddle that I think looks like a good spot to stop for lunch, and I tell Becky and Cynthia, I was like, I think exactly right there is probably where we should stop and eat, which wasn't really going to end up being lunch. It was sort of like our snack break for energy to push us up to where we were headed.
Becky hangs back to hike with me. You continue to trudge on. We all make our way around and over this hillscape. The sun is a little higher now. It's a little brighter now. And it's also a little harsher. And it's hitting the landscape in a different way because it's higher in the sky now. So we have to climb upwards along a ridge that is, lined with boulders and rock. And it eventually drops us to the top of the saddle that you were talking about. You make it to the top first, and then we all got there. And this became our destination for our mid-morning snack break.
Our little energy snack break. And with that, let's take our second break. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Drag Corner. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage
Harmony Borax Works.
She sure does.
Okay, so where did we even get this name?
Because it's actually a place in
Death Valley.
In Death Valley.
Yeah.
It's a place that we actually didn't see during the daytime. We did an evening of stargazing here, like a little past the section through like a canyon that's there. So it's actually a place, I mean, Death Valley had operations running through it. Specifically, borax was was mined here. And so this, was the Harmony Borax Works. It's where they were mining that borax.
So Harmony Borax Works, though we're spelling her last name Werqs.
That's right.
And so who is Harmony Borax Works?
She's a scrub queen.
Is she a scrub queen?
She's a clean queen.
I'm curious if she can have like a dress made of sponges that is in reference to a Monet Exchange look where she did a whole look made out of sponges.
Okay.
Which is throwing it back to like Monet Exchange's very first season. But alas.
Yeah. Borax is a cleaner. It also can be used as like an insect repellent in some situations.
And girl, that works.
It does.
As an insect
It
repellent.
does.
I've used it myself.
So yeah, I think she's a clean queen. She is a whistle while she works. Her looks involve rubber gloves, kitchen gloves, dishwashing gloves.
Love.
And I think it sort of is like this nod to gloved outfits that are very elegant. So I think most of her looks are elegant ball gown looks that are made from things that are cleaning based.
I like that.
And the dishwashing gloves are her gloves that are part of the outfit.
But maybe she also makes a little fascinator out of like the
Sure.
gloves,
Oh yeah.
right?
I mean, she might even have a whole dress that's made from them.
I think she could do a really elegant wig made out of pieces of like a mop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like an actual mop wig, but like a well done mop wig.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like this idea. And then what song does she lip sync to?
Yakety yak.
I was hoping that you were going to get there before me.
And it's not yakety yak.
No.
Good Lord.
No.
Get a new.
I do think She's a Maniac would be a really great one to do.
Sure.
While cleaning. I mean, obviously She Works Hard for the Money is a really good one.
I think she could do Money, Money, Money. I work all night, I work all day to pay the bills I have to pay.
Hey,
baby, it's sad.
Great. And so her merch is climate friendly cleaning products.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that she could also have like a little enamel like dishwashing glove pin.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. That says work on it, WERQ.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage
Harmony Borax Works. All right, everybody, it's lunchtime. We're enjoying lunch.
We sat here for a while. We're enjoying snacks.
Well, snacks. Yeah, we're enjoying some snacks. We decide to wrap up our snacks and continue. On this next leg of the trail, we head down around some green hills. They were very green. Mm-hmm. And there's a slight decline and then a slight incline.
Yep. And we'd been hiking for about an hour and a half at this point, and it ended up being kind of the perfect spot to stop and sit to eat, because essentially we would hike out for another hour and a half. Like, it was a great break point for us. This was a long day of hiking. This was a 6-hour day of
this was a
journeying.
Very long hiking day.
So we had kind of met our quarter point at that point of the snack. This was the fuel up we needed before we got to this rocky section that was going to apparently be very exposed and kick our butts. Now, Becky had done part of this trail when she was in Death Valley before, but she had only gotten to this section, and then nothing bad happened, but there was like a timing issue and she had to essentially turn around. So she hadn't gone further than where we were at this point. This was all new to her too. As we're sitting here before we kind of like launch into the next leg, she points out this first knob of the rockier section and told me this is where there'd be more exposure and I'd have to really start looking for the trail a little bit harder. And since I was the one in the lead kind of consistently through this trek, she wanted me to know. So I had, all the information I needed as I got there.
This didn't work out well for you. And this is because you are not the student in class who needs the gold star. You are not the student in class who's like, please give me responsibility for the class. That's not you in any way.
Nope.
In any way.
I sit back and I let others do the work for me.
Can I tell you something that I used to say all the time as a teacher is, I need a special helper. And there it is. You're giggling because like there's something inside of you that just activated.
Something has changed within
And you were like, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the special helper. No one will be the special helper more than me.
I mean, you attach the word special to something.
But I say that because I am, as you know, the exact same person.
Yeah.
I am 100% that. I mean, like, you and I are both Tracy Flick. Mm-hmm. I mean, period.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
So I witnessed the moment where Becky was like, this is what I need you to look for, Mike. This is what, and you were like, I take it on valiantly.
I couldn't be happier.
So it's good to have
a special helper.
The special helper in me recognizes the special helper in you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll say.
Great.
There's a slight ascent from the field where we were eating to get onto the slight descent around this hilly ridge that we're encountering now. There are some white circular blazes on some rocks along the way, but it's only in this section, which was very odd.
It
But
was weird too because the trail was very clear here. Like it didn't make sense to me. Yeah.
I mean, later it's less clear, but
yeah.
here it's still very clear. And the white blazes are definitely there. I'm just going to venture to guess it's for when you're coming back and you're in the delirium.
Sure.
And you're like, I need a white circle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why. So as we curve the inner part of the hill, it is clear that we're going to have to start bounding back up to the crest of the hill here. This is actually the saddle
that I had spotted.
You had originally spotted.
Yeah.
We stopped at a different saddle.
A little before it, just a little bit before.
But this goes back to what I'm saying is that from far away, this trail looks closer than it is.
Yes.
And you can't even see all of the things that are in between you and where you're going. And this is a perfect example of this.
We trudge up this hillside, which is very loose stone, like scree. And we eventually make it to the crest of the hill. I remember being mad here because I was like, this is some BS right now, because for the most part the trail hadn't been terrible, but it just was long, and it was breathtaking. But this felt like, oh, so now we're gonna get hard. And right here we had just eaten lunch and now it's becoming difficult, which is fine. We eventually make it to the crest of this hill, and it has a large pad that has a lot of white scree on it, and this would be a point that we would all become very familiar with on a return trip. But
yes,
that's for the next episode.
That's for the next episode. So we get now to the next leg of the trail. Again, so many different realms of this trail. The next one it's like a white rocky section to a deep decline, and it kind of feels like Hawaii.
It absolutely
was so
did.
strange.
It felt like you could have seen silver swords. The landscape changed here. It felt like we were on the Sliding Sands Trail a little bit. I felt exactly there, and we were very far away in California.
Yeah. So we peer over the edge here for this incredibly long descent. The color of the earth changes here from an incredibly white yellow to a more red rock color to a green sage at the bottom of the hill. I mean, it's so quick. The trail has green grass clumps on the edge of it. And this is sort of where it starts to feel like Hawaii. And then it also has these kind of micro switchbacks in it, which it made it less slick to head down as we were heading down.
Right. It definitely wasn't comfortable on my shins though.
No.
Because we had to kind of serpentine our way down, and you have gravity pulling against you here. Decline is great, but it's never my favorite because it hurts everything more, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't agree with you. My body doesn't agree with that, but I respect that that's what you feel.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that is some people's experience.
Oh, yeah.
And for me, uphill is always worse. And I'm cursing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then downhill is a little bit more of a breeze.
After we make this descent, we come to a flatter section that takes us along more of this red earth, which is going to be kind of a lot of the rest of this, trail is going to essentially be this red earthy feel to it. We see another diagonal ridge, and we notice the meandering trail that goes up toward the red rocky section from here.
So we wind down the trail. For a while, right here is mostly flat, and eventually we come to a section that has some whiter, bigger boulders. And this is where a large chunk of our remaining ascent will come in. Okay, so we are going to wait until end of our next full-length episode to put this on the Karen Stone scale. So we're going to go right into some Jeopardy-style trivia.
Great.
Mike, do you want to get us started today?
Sure. So since this trail starts at Dante's View and goes to Mount Perry, I wanted to write a Jeopardy category as if Dante Alighieri was hosting a Maury Povich-style talk show. And you have to guess the deadly sin that the episode is focused on based off of the description.
It's funny that you mentioned Deadly Sins. Okay, great. I'm
Great.
ready.
Great. Dante's View for 100. Today on the show, Ashton is here because he's dating 7 different men. But when they found out about each other, rather than breaking off things with Austin, they all agreed to be with him. One for every day of the week. Now, Ashton is here to solve a problem he never thought he'd have. Again. Stay tuned and see how things shake out for this octuplet couple after this commercial break.
What is lust?
That's correct.
Great.
For 200. Today on the show, we meet Chutney and her husband Mark. Mark is looking for help. Chutney's fast food habit and midnight snacking has gotten out of hand. While Mark still deeply loves Chutney, he's concerned for her well-being and her overall health. On today's episode, we invite our in-house doctor to chat with the couple about how to work through this transition in their lives and how to curb Chutney's insatiable cravings. More after these commercials.
What is gluttony?
That's correct.
I love that you named the person who's
Has
dealing with gluttony Chutney.
Chutney gluttony.
Yeah.
For 300, this very special episode unites a father with his children after years of separation due to his incarceration. Josh was a successful banker turned hedge fund manager who was the perfect father and community role model. Unfortunately, despite his success and what he was providing for his family, he was living way outside his means. One thing led to another, and Mark's reckless investments and never enough attitude led him and his family down the path to ruin. This emotional reunion after this break.
Oh my God. You should just write copy. I mean, you're so good at it. What is greed?
That's correct. For 400, I take that compliment and I pin it to my
You're
shirt.
incredible at it.
While we typically have a live studio audience for our show, due to an abundance of caution, this episode will just feature me and John, a native Vermonter who, despite the peaceful and idyllic conditions of the Green Mountain State, can't seem to settle. We must warn you that John's outbursts tend to be quite explosive, so take extra precaution. I will be interviewing John from inside this shark cage that has been dry docked for my use. It may seem dangerous, but it will certainly make for some exciting television after these advertisements.
What is wrath?
Correct.
Okay.
And finally, for 500. On today's episode, we meet Ashley via satellite link as she gets a chance to explain why releasing top secret files to the mainstream media was the right decision in her mind. Stay tuned to hear her emotional story and her plea to once again be able to come home after this commercial break. Now, I will say this is not one of the deadly sins, but it is one of the sins in which people were from Dante's Inferno.
Oh, was it?
Just think about the clue. Releasing top secret documents, can't come home. What might that be? Also, also something she could just be guilty of. Think of somebody else who maybe has done that recently and is currently living in Russia and can't come home.
Yeah.
What would that?
It's like, oh God, whistleblowing. What is whistleblowing? I mean, it is whistleblowing, but it doesn't always mean that that's a bad thing. What is
Benedict Arnold?
Oh, what is treachery?
Yes, or treason.
So
there you go. And that's Dante's View.
Great. Okay. Are you ready for my category?
I am ready
my
for your
category comes with bonus points.
Oh, great.
Since the trail featured in this episode, Mount Perry, or Dante's View to Mount Perry, is considered a Seven Realms trail, I wanted to do a category on things that are grouped in collections of 7.
Great. I think I might know some.
For each answer, you have to just tell me what the collection of 7 is.
But if I can name
bonus
individual
points
things,
for any that you can individually
great.
name.
I love it.
So for 100, once referring to one collection, now referring to another, this group used to contain bodies of water from the ancient world, but now refers to even larger bodies of water in the modern world.
What are the 7 seas?
Correct. So what are the original 7 seas that they were talking about?
The Mediterranean.
That's 1.
The Adriatic.
That's 2.
The Black.
3.
The Caspian.
4.
The Red.
5.
Oh, the North.
No. The others were the Aegean and the Persian Gulf.
Okay.
Or maybe the Arabian Sea.
Okay, great.
Look at that. 5 bonus points for you.
I love it.
Okay, for 200.
Did you call me special helper earlier?
I did.
I've been activated.
You are. You're wearing the little special button that has like a blue ribbon on it that says special helper.
And I know things now. Many wonderful things.
For 200. Only a relatively recent adoption in the grand scheme of the Earth's history, this collection of 7 refers to land masses that were once all together in one area known as Pangaea.
What are the 7 continents?
Great, and they are?
They are Antarctica, Australia, Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America.
There you go. All 7 bonus points.
Great.
For 300. According to yogic philosophy, this collection of 7 refers to the main energy points of the body.
What are the chakras?
What are the 7 major chakras? What are they?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, I can probably...
You don't have to give me
I don't have to
the
give you Sanskrit, but I could.
Give me the other one.
So root, which is Muladhara. Sacral,
2.
which is Svadhisthana. The solar plexus, which is Manipura. The heart chakra, which is Anahata. Throat chakra, which is Vishuddha. The third eye, which is Sarasana. No, it's not. It's, oh God, I always forget that one, and I should know it. Yeah, the crown, and then the crown, which is,
the one you were just saying.
Sarasana.
And then Sarasrara.
Yeah.
And then the third eye is Ajna.
Ajna. I always forget that.
I'm going to give you 7 plus 5.
Great.
That was
12.
Great. 12. Okay.
I should just know them like that, but
that's okay. Well. For 400, referring to architectural and artistic structures, this collection of 7 was named by ancient Greek explorers.
What are the 7 What are the 7 wonders of the ancient world?
That is correct. Can you name any of them?
Okay. Yes, and I used to have this tattooed in my brain, but the pyramids of Giza, which are the only remaining 7 wonders, the Hanging Tower, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. 2. Oh my gosh, what are the other ones? The Lighthouse of Alexandria.
3.
The Temple of Zeus at Parathanasis or something like that. Temple of Athena? No. Okay.
You're conflating 3 things
in
the one.
Okay.
There is a temple, there is something to deal with Zeus, and there is something at Halicarnassus.
Halicarnassus, okay. So the Temple of Zeus?
No. It's the statue of Zeus at Olympia.
Okay.
And then there's a Temple of Artemis at Ephesus.
Okay.
And then there's a mausoleum at Halicarnassus. And then there's the Colossus of Rhodes.
The Colossus of Rhodes, of course.
There you go. So I'll give you 3.
Great.
Okay, great. And finally, these are worth 2 for any of these that you can name. 2 bonus points. According to Fiona Good of the American Horror Story Coven universe, this collection of 7 tests must be passed in order for you to become the new supreme.
Okay, telekinesis.
Wait, hold on. What is it called?
The 7 wonders.
The test of the 7 wonders. Okay, great.
Telekinesis. Pyrokinesis.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Hang on. I'm what the descent into the land of the dead, which has
that is the descensum, and I'm going to give you that.
Okay, descensum. Levitation. It's been so long since I've watched Coven. There was also the breathing of life back into somebody. I can't remember the name of it because she does that. And then teleportation, right? I can't remember.
So they do. So you did get telekinesis. I'm going to give you more than you think.
Okay.
Telekinesis. There is concilium, which is mind control.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't mention that one. But there is transmutation or also teleportation. That's where you're moving from place to place. Divination.
Oh, that's right.
That's where you acquire knowledge about an object or a person or location. Pyrokinesis. So that's, fire. And then there's Vitalum Vitalis. It's the most difficult. That is balancing the scales between life and death. It's where they come really close to death, right? Then there's Descentium, and that's astral projection. And that's where you descend into the realm of, that's where you descend to hell. So yeah, how many of that was there?
3.
You got Descentium,
pyrokinesis, telekinesis, teleportation, which is transmutation.
Yes.
So I got 8 points.
I have to say, I don't know that I could have named a single one of them
okay.
prior to doing the research for that category, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you. It is one of my favorite seasons. They could have done a better job.
I agree.
But it was still good.
And I'm just going to say this for the record. If you and I had to go head to head in a test for the Supreme today, I think you would probably win. You would be the new Supreme.
I'm a special helper. Looking for more episodes like the one you just heard? Then be sure to check out our episode finder for episodes by park, state, hiking difficulty, and terrain, as well as all of our Trail Mix episodes in one helpful place. Click the link in the show notes of this episode, our Instagram bio, or visit our website to make your listening experience even easier.
This has been Gaze at the National Parks, the podcast, and we're here to remind you to hike early and hike often, and that adventure is always out there.
Gaze at the National Parks was created, produced, edited, and hosted by us,
Dustin Ballard
and Michael Ryan.
To see images from this episode, follow our Instagram at Gaze at the National Parks. To contact us, email us at gazeatthenationalparks@gmail.com. And to find out more about the parks visited on this show, visit our website, gazeatthenationalparks.com. That's Gaze, G-A-Z-E.
All original artwork featured on Instagram and on our website is by me, Michael Ryan.
All original music was written and performed by Dave Seaman and Mariella Klinger, with Sean Sklios on guitar. Our music producer is Skylar Fortgang.
We would also like to acknowledge that while recording this episode that we were on the traditional and stolen lands of the Lenape people, also known as New Jersey.
If you love the national parks as much as we do, then we have a book recommendation for you.
Moon USA National Parks Hiking is a brand new guidebook from Moon Travel Guides that covers the top 100 hikes across 40 U.S. national parks.
Whether you want to descend into the Grand Canyon, stroll the shoreline in Acadia, or cling to the cliff edges in Shenandoah, Moon USA National Parks Hiking gives you the inspiration to find the perfect hike for you and the practical planning tips to make it happen. You'll find everything from easy, family-friendly hikes to strenuous, multi-day treks, plus tips for wildlife watching, backpacking, finding solitude, and more.
This book is an essential resource for national parks fans, as well as a fantastic holiday gift for any outdoorsy people on your list.
You can find Moon USA National Parks Hiking wherever books are sold, or click the link in our show notes. And if you don't already have a copy on your shelf, be sure to also check out the original award-winning best-selling guide that started it all, Moon USA National Parks.
Find your trail and prepare for an unforgettable journey in America's top national parks with Moon Travel Guides. Moon, let your heart be your compass, let Moon be your guide.